me when I say, if you think there's a reason why you can't do something, you can.
I keep getting the image of her running through a field with the tall grass, enjoying the sunshine, just frolicking.
Start listening to your own guides. Start listening to the sun.
The only thing that makes you jealous, fearful, and angry is your perception upon the situation.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Not doing too bad.
I told you they were gonna come in tonight. Okay. That's enough, guys. You are you, Tim. You are you.
I was gonna say Tim right off the bat.
I love you, Tim. Happy Valentine's Day, Lori. Everybody, can you tell everybody?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Nani's hurt. Yeah.
Hi,
I'll be okay.
Nani hurt.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you guys go watch TV now?
She had surgery.
Oh, Mommy's home. Oh, go find Mommy. Or
Oh, saved.
lots of energy, huh? It's
I can
crazy.
feel it. Oh, what I would do to have that right now.
I know. I took a nap today. I've been like taking naps for the last week, going, I'm getting old.
I wish I could. I'm dead tired. I haven't been sleeping very well. Like it's still, I'm sleeping good. Like when I sleep, I'm out. But I just feel like no energy, just wasted. I don't know. It's been a weird week, energy wise for me.
Oh, you know what? I'm right along with you on that. I am so right along with you on that because I've been just, like I said, every day I'm taking some sort of a nap, even if it's only 10, 15 minutes laying down, just going, and I set an alarm to make sure I don't miss something in life.
I can't take naps. I really wish I could. It's just I try to be so productive that I'm one of those. Actually, years ago, I was diagnosed, not prescribed, an insomniac because I was one of those people that always felt like if I wasn't sleeping, I could just keep going and going and going. Mm-hmm. And I did it for about 2 weeks, and my body just said, "You're done." And yeah, it was a long night. I won't get into too many details. I remember waking up in jail.
Oh no, that's so good.
It was a bad night, but that's when I decided to get therapy and found out, hey, you got to sleep.
Yeah. It is one of those crazy things, it is one of those crazy things. Sleep, people like overrate sleep so much for so many different things. And it's like, yeah, nope, it's needed. It really Courtney says she's not a napper either. And I'll tell you what, I never used to be. And I still can't like lay down for an hour or two because if I do that, I never really wake up. I'm exhausted. I just stay exhausted all night long. But this last week, I've been laying down for like 10 minutes or 45 minutes, these short periods of times. And it's been rejuvenate me. And I'm like, whoa, this is really weird. Maybe I finally hit that age, Mike. Maybe I finally hit that age.
My favorite naps, and I got to tell you, I'm sure anybody can agree with these naps, are the ones where you lay down on the couch and your spouse says, hey, I'm running to the store. Next thing you know, you wake up and you're like, are you going to the store? And she's like, I'm already there and back. And it felt like 2 minutes. Those are the best naps.
Oh, yeah. Tim, it's still hurting. And I haven't taken pain medication yet tonight because I'm really going to try to do my best for readings. So, which is huge. And I want to do a huge shout out to Tim because I'll tell you what, Tim has changed my life in so many different ways. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I asked for help for assistance with my hand yesterday, and he boom, came to town and did it, and it was huge. And I appreciate him more than you know. So, my shout out. So, what? Love it. Oh, Courtney said to sage your ass. I think that's yours. Now, Ma, it says asses. Maybe it's both of them.
Which is funny she says that because I actually have sage burning in the background. It's not working, Courtney.
It's working towards me then, apparently. Because Sherry says she's surrounded by negative energy. You know what, Sherry? I'm thinking all of us are because, I'm kind of like blah. Mike's kind of like blah. You know, I'm feeling like the energy's just that way right now.
Yeah, I think it is a lot. I've been, you know me, I get into these conspiracy theories, and it's there's a lot going on right now, and there's so much to comprehend, and everything from, like, I'm feeling everything from that train derailment in Ohio to everybody here saying, oh, it's supposed to rain tonight. How ironic. Don't go out in the rain. Don't let it touch your skin. To these UFOs being shot down, to what's called Project Blue Book. And it's just like, I've gone down this rabbit hole, and I feel like there is some sort of spiritual war that is happening right now and is going to only get more massive.
Oh, it's going to. It is going to. Actually, somebody just I was on an interview, Ghostbox on Sunday. And Greg, I believe. Greg Bacon, Ghostbox.
Yeah.
Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
He had me on his show, and we talked about that a little bit on Monday. You know what? And it was okay. And it was crazy how, he'd ask that question about, what do you think about all this stuff going on? And I'm like, you know what? I think it's all true. 110% what you're saying is true. But I kind of look back at it, and it's like, what could have been done different? I said, you know what? 60 years ago, 70 years ago, when that first UFO came down, maybe we should have had some truth with it and started that awakening back then and not now.
Yeah.
And I think we'd be a lot further ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I've dug deep in reading into the Super Bowl halftime, the Grammy shows, everything that they do. As somebody who's spiritual, to me, that does look a little. There's some red flags in there. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. But for me, lately, I've been just on this weird. I don't know, this weird connection that I've never had with anything before.
Right.
And it was funny, as I was actually going to ask you.
It's our introduction, our building friendship that's opened you.
It could be. It could be, because I actually was going to ask you if even either during the show or after to do a light reading on me, because I don't really care what people think.
Okay.
But I want to see if there's anybody else maybe listening that could say, hey, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that?
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people don't know, DeEtte, is you and I, we don't talk throughout the week.
No, not at all.
We only get here and talk.
Guys, this is the weirdest connection, because literally I had Mike on my other show, School Through Spirit, and he went, you know what? I have this idea. And I went, oh my God, that's a great idea. We talked for 10 minutes one night. Said, let's bring you on here. Let's see if this works. It worked. And that's an ins and outs of it.
That was it. And we don't message back and forth and say, hey, let's talk about this Tuesday. Let's do this. We don't. We just get on here. I think the last message I sent you was to check out the intro that I made.
I love the new intro. I love it.
We don't talk. So there's a lot of things going on with me right now that I'm hoping somebody can pick up. That only 2 people I've talked to this about, because it's something that I know is changing, and that's all I'm going to say. But I just kind of want to see what.
Oh, well, that's simple enough. That's simple enough. Before I do that, though, I want to go back to Lori Brew to put in there that she has no idea, but something popped up in her Google Calendar that the spirits are their closest right now. I truly believe that. But not just their closest. I think people are so open up to stuff, hugely open to things. People
are waking up.
Yeah,
they are.
I think, and it's becoming a norm.
I truthfully believe that the truth and everything is literally right there in front of our faces. Oh, and we don't believe it.
Oh, I was talking to a friend today. Went and had her met her for lunch, and she's an older lady, beautiful woman, but she listens to Catholic radio all the time. Okay, and she says in Catholic radio they're constantly talking about. She says from last year to this year, just opening up, and the topics they talk about are so loose compared to what the Catholic Church has ever been. And it's all on spirituality and mediumship and exorcisms and all of it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
A lot of my research goes down to Jeffrey Epstein. It really does.
There you go.
I mean, I find it ironic. I'm not going to get political here or conspiracy theory on the show because that's not what it's about. But I just find it ironic that everybody's so gung ho about these UFOs that are being shot down that nobody is noticing that the courts just released the fact that all of Epstein's associates and their names are going to be released within the next couple weeks. This is everybody that's been to Epstein Island. This is everybody that's worked closely with him. And these are things that isn't on the news.
Right.
And I don't know.
I get it because I think that happens a lot. You know what I mean? It happens a whole lot, so, and I knew something, and again, not a conspiracy theory because I'm not at all, but I think it's, we had a lot going on when we had the defamation case going on last year. And now a new one is brewing. It's like, oh, what's behind the scenes? What's not going to be shown because of this, this huge case that's going to go on. So it'll be interesting. They're going to just sneak in the next UFO, the next, alien, hide it someplace and say,
oh yeah.
We just went down a rabbit hole, Mike. Oh my God, what'd you do to me? It's like ding, ding, ding. No.
I mean, I like I've said before, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do like to read into them. I like to know that the ideas are limitless and possible.
Yeah.
And what if there is a potential spiritual war coming and it's right there in front of our faces and we're not even ready for it?
Right. Oh,
that's the problem.
I think we're going to be ready though. And that's just it yeah, I will hand you as you're listening.
Conspiracy realist. I do like that one.
Awesome. Hellas Monster Looking Glass Back. That's awesome. I think the funny thing is I think we're going to be ready for it. I really do think because too many people are opening up too naturally not to be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be one thing of with you, it's like every time we get on, initially my ear starts to ring with you. Every time you get into it's like, oh, he's new, he's budding, this is coming to development. It's kind of like, what are those voices or what is it? Not quite knowing what you're hearing, but stuff is coming in, And I think a lot of people are at that level, but everybody's opening up naturally. It's just everybody's starting to, you can't tie the fact that, spiritualism, I don't want to say spiritualism because spiritualism is a religion. Being spiritualist is a religion. It's not a way of life. It's a religion. But being more of awakening or open-minded to things that are unknown. Okay. When you put into that category, you have a lot of people opening up to that. And I'll tell you what, that's because of you and people like you that do paranormal and place it on TV. And then you made that kind of like, hey, there you go. And then from that came the Teresa Caputos and the John Edwards or whichever. I think John Edwards actually came before Ghost Hunters or whatever.
Oh, yeah, John Edwards. My dad loved him.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're having this increase from then until now. And now it is such a norm that, I mean, for Christ's sakes, we got Paraflix. Paraflix is nothing but streaming paranormal. You know what I mean? So when you went from let's dabble and fish a little bit here or there to making it normal, all of a sudden people that have these abilities, they've always had these abilities, but their ears are ringing. They're like, oh my gosh, let's pay attention to this tickle tummy. Let's pay attention to that tickle, whatever it might be, and they're accepting it. They're going, this is my norm, and they're moving into it. And I think that's where I think this whole spiritual warfare thing, anybody, to say that, we're not going to be ready. It's just going to be, we're going to have people at different levels, but everybody's going to be like, oh, I know what you're doing. You can't pull the wool over me on that one because there's already a piece of them in there. So
are you a lot like me or anybody else where if you get the ringing in the ear, you Google search? I Google search my symptoms to see what they mean spiritually before I call a doctor.
I don't Google anymore. It's so funny because I started doing that when I went Reiki years and years and years ago. And I learned that, hey, guess what? You know what? I cause my own shit. If I get sick, it's my own fault and I've manifested it. So the minute I start to get a scratchy throat, I stop and go, what didn't I let go? What didn't I let go? What do I have to deal with?
That's what I like. What am I supposed to say to this person? Because, that's, yep.
Yeah, and it works. And if I don't figure it out, or if I'm like, oh, screw it, I am going to have a full-fledged, put me in the hospital. I'm going to cry like a little baby, and still not release whatever and get sick again and again and again.
Right.
So, it's huge for me. It's huge. But let's start with you really quick, because I'll tell you now I'm curious and nervous all at the same time here, Mike. You don't even know. I'm curious and nervous, like, oh my God, if you tell me I'm wrong, and what a week
I
to
don't think you will be.
you're like, I don't know. I right now, because I'm taking pain meds when I sleep, and not during the day, but when I'm asleep, because when I just don't like the feeling my head gets. I always feel like I'm off my game, I always feel like I'm off my game at that point. So I just got a notification my headset has arrived, which is part of my package, and I'm so excited. Anyway, so right off the bat, the first thing I got with you, of course, is that ring in the ear. Again, ring in the ear is just, spirits around. It's kind of like their way of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm around, and it's just a notification. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you have the ring in the ears. I think it's more about your abilities really starting to open up. And I'm seeing that. I think other people are kind of looking at you going, whoa, Mike, didn't you? That type of a situation. With that being said, I feel a lot in your heart chakra, dear. It's your heart chakra and going into your gut. I don't want to say your solar plexus. I don't want to say your sacral. I just want to say into your gut. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like this is a whole healing thing that's going on, and it's just healing and crap coming up. This is crap coming up like I would almost say years upon years ago, different memories, different thoughts. Like, why didn't I deal with this? But I feel like it's reaching down deep and bringing it up through you. Okay. The one thing I do is I see you do projects, and I don't know if you've always done a lot of projects or if that's something new or what's going on with there, but that's where I'm hearing your creativity. And I'm seeing you kind of like create yourself out of, like working with the projects to release all of this. You know what I mean? Just kind of release all of this and let it kind of come up. But I also think you're hitting past lives on some things, because I'm hearing past lives. So some of the stuff you're digging up might even be like, where's that coming from? Where's this? I don't have a connection. Where's this at? So I think part of that, because I'm also hearing fifth dimension, but I think the fifth dimension is you going, could it be this? Could it be this? Could it be this? Which way could it be going? Like trying to self-diagnose yourself as to where everything is at. Okay. I also want to tell you, you're holding yourself back, dear. You're holding yourself back. The way I see you're holding yourself back, because I see you have, and I think you've announced enough out here to tell everybody that, you know what, you always have an idea or two going, but I'm hearing not until you resolve this or not until you finish this. But I feel like that's a holding yourself back. It's kind of like saying, I'll do this once this is out of the way. And really all these things could go almost simultaneously. You know what I mean? But you're giving your reason as it's almost like a self-sabotaging reason. Does that make sense to you? Almost kind of like I'm going to self-sabotage myself. And it really, we took this up and unscrewed it out of your admin, threw it away. You'd have no reason not to do what you want to do. It's just this small thing. You know what I mean? I also think part of this digging deep and bringing it back up is also finding value in yourself. So it's I am worthy. I am worth this. I can have this, but I think I don't think you're to the point of trying to convince yourself of this. You're trying to take this a different route, a different way of going down that path. I also want to tell you it's not very long before you're through this, because I think you've been going, holy shit, this has been going on. It's been creeping up. It's getting worse and worse and worse. I don't feel like it's that long before you've completed this. And the only reason I'm saying that is you're working on a mirror project right now, aren't you? A big mirror.
That is very weird that you brought that up. Okay. I did post that on Facebook, but you don't know the intentions.
No, I seen and that's what I want to say. I know you posted, I know you put it up, so I know that. But what I've seen is when that is complete, you will be through this transition. You'll be through this, okay? Because they're literally showing you standing up and you're like polishing it off, like dusting it. And when that is done, you'll be done, okay? Like you'll get through this, okay? And I'm literally hearing it's kind of like walking through the looking glass. That's what you're doing right now. You're kind of walking through I know Tim wrote the looking glass, but I just heard it again in my head, like it's walking through it. It's like going, this is just a journey. It's a path you're on. And I'm almost wondering if an object you picked up has actually stirred a lot of this within you.
All right. Well, those pain meds aren't blocking you. They're working really good.
Okay, because I'm like, am I on? Am I not on? I'm like, oh my God, is this normal? I'm gonna give it. Hopefully that all makes sense to you, darling.
It really does. I know that other people want readings here, and I will say that I am working on a mirror project. And what's really weird about this mirror project is this, I don't know how old it is, but I do create scrying mirrors. I make scrying mirrors. And the one I am working on came from an old 1920s speakeasy here in my hometown. A buddy of mine's running it, and when we went in there and we walked around it, he let me take a mirror. He makes scrying mirrors too, so he's actually the one that kind of taught me how to do them. And I finally got around, like it kind of sat here for a while until I could get around to working on it. And last weekend I started, and each time I'm doing this, like when I create mirrors, I know how to open the portals. I know how to open them up and set the intentions.
Okay.
So each time as I'm working on this, the only thing that kept coming through my mind is this is going to be your spiritual, your meditation mirror. This is going to be your guide.
Oh.
As I'm working on it, I'm sanding it, I'm painting it, and getting the glass ready. And that is the only thing that kept coming to my mind.
Right.
And it's really weird. I mean, I'll just be honest with everybody on here right now. I know a lot of you have heard me talk about my spirituality. I am very spiritual. Not a very close relationship with God, just because of my past.
Yeah.
And the things that I am bringing up right now. I considered myself an atheist for many years, ever since my dad passed away. So I was 20, 15, 20, I suck at math. So I'm 37 now. There you go. Okay. Always mad at God. Always, I considered myself an atheist. And throughout this paranormal journey, I have been growing lighter as a person, growing more angelic, looking into things. And the other day I sat back and I'm browsing through all this negativity on Facebook, and something just hit me. I'm going down this rabbit hole of things and looking at the spirituality and the demonic messages and the Super Bowl and the Grammys. And then I'm going through other things and talking to my wife about some stuff. And one day I get on and I just keep seeing all the signs. Spiritual war, light workers. We need, and it just started clicking and clicking and clicking.
Right.
And I got on Facebook and I'm like, I'm reading posts, and something clicked in me and was like, there's a spiritual war coming. There is so much negativity out there. I see the hate. I don't want to be on that side. I'm done.
Yeah.
And I have been on this spiritual journey to where I know now I have some, I guess I'm to the point where I'm ready to admit that I am forming a very close relationship with some higher power.
Right.
And that is something that I've never come out and said. And that's been a struggle for me, just because of the facade that I've had for so many years, that you're afraid of losing your friends, you're afraid of losing followers, you're afraid of this. But in reality, why? That's I've also been on this trip of what is reality? Where am I? Where is all this going? What does any of this even fucking matter? Is really where I've been. And right. It's just drawn me closer and closer and closer. And it's really helped me manifest and do a lot with myself personally. And I can't say how much I've actually enjoyed it. And that is something I never thought I would ever say.
Isn't it crazy when you get on this journey, what happens? It's
scary.
It's insane. It really is. It's insane. You go from being the one person you always thought you were to, oh my God, who really am I? Or you look back over a year and you're like, oh my God, I've changed so much.
And to know that there's a possibility that the energy that we put off, if there is a spiritual war, and the abilities that we have as intuitives and empaths and energy workers to actually make a change is greater than knowing I destroyed life, destroyed the world. I don't want want that.
Exactly. But I think we're here to make a bigger change. You know what I mean? We're here to make a bigger change, and I think that's what I show up for all the time. I used to do what I do for different reasons, but I show up now to make a change. I show up to make a difference. I show up to help people, you know what I mean? And help embrace people. So, and I think I think a lot of people are switching to that modality, and I'm gonna say it's modality. It's a way of life. It's a way of being, And if that comes with the belief in a greater good or greater power or whatever it means, I don't think it matters what it means to any of us, as long as we all get to that same place.
Absolutely.
I'm taking religion out of it, just making it good old fashioned good people.
Exactly. That's ultimately what it needs to be. That's we don't know what the higher power is. A lot of people call him God, you call him a spaghetti monster, you call him whatever you want. But as long as you have that.
If I get to heaven and I see a spaghetti monster, I am so haunting you, Mike, because I'm older than you. I will die first. I will haunt you.
Oh man.
Well, but Sherry's like, it's because of the readings I keep going. I guess on that note, we better start doing some readings.
Ooh, yep.
But no, I like that because I think you're right on. I think you're right on, Mike. I think a lot of people look at, as being so. And I hope my little spiel helped a little bit, just a little bit. So, okay, let's start with Tim. Oh my gosh, Tim, right off the bat, stuff is just coming in for you. Oh my gosh, stuff is just coming in for you. And you're not going to want to hear it, Tim. You're not going to want to hear it. I want to tell you, first I was going to message you today and say your book is great. Your book is done, ready to go. But now I'm just here with me wanting to message you that I really want to tell you, God, have you started the next one, because I feel like now it's time to go, oh, I got through this. Now it's time to go towards this, because I do see yourself, starting to see yourself as a teacher or giving that guide to other people. And I do know that, I know what you're about. I know not everybody knows what you're about. Or whatever you want to state in that aspect. But I do want to tell you, I feel like the next one is coming, and I'm hearing the next tutorial, that next book, that next chapter is coming. And I feel like the next one will be easier than the first one. I'm also hearing, get ready for the network. I don't know what the network means, dear. Maybe it's just a series. I'm not sure. But hopefully that helps you, dear. Hopefully that makes sense. Don't be nervous and shaking your shoes, because trust me, you got this. The first book is phenomenal. The second's going to even be better. What do you got for him, sir?
I'm leaning a little towards Sacral for that one. If you're trying to play, I don't even know if he's planning a second book, doing a second book, but really keep that passion alive, keep that creativity going. If you get into any sort of slump, any sort of writer's block, find out what you were doing differently the first time you wrote. Maybe bring in some of those techniques to the new one. Sorry, I was reading it.
Oh, I love it. Like within the first 2 hours of writing, I realized I was writing my fourth. Yes.
Really, that one's just for me, I would remember, keep your creativity going and keep it open. That's your sacral is the creative chakra. So
I love that. I wrote in there, hi, Nick and Danny, because I was trying to be under the radar, but it came under totally one hand trying to type. I didn't even get capitalized Nick. So hi, Nick and Danny. They both came in and said hi really quick. So I wanted to say hi to them. So beautiful. Hopefully that helps with you there, Mr. Tim. Let's go on to Keith here. Keith, can I have a general reading, please? And thank you. God, Keith, my whole head with you, my neck and my head is just spinning, and I want to shut my eyes and I want to go, oh my God, let me off this roller coaster ride is what it feels like in my head, because my head is just spinning, so much going on, just so much. But I'll tell you what, along with that, there is there's some stuff going on in your throat chakra. So it's that bringing it up and letting it go and releasing it. Okay. And it's working in combination. So it's almost like your head's going faster than your mouth can go, or your heart can catch up to everything else. So I feel like there's like a ton of ideas, ton of stuff, all this stuff going on. And you're trying to get on the train that's like a straight rolling train versus this roller coaster ride. Okay. And I feel like I don't feel like you have to grab the brake and slow it down or stop it. I feel like you need to grab the wall and kind of straighten it out, just straighten out the thing so it becomes a a long going train versus a single and loop-de-loop on you. Okay. And again, with that, I think it's just kind of, I don't want to say setting up priorities, but kind of PDF files in your brain or getting all your thoughts, everything organized in front of you on pieces of paper, like organize it so that you got a trajectory of everything and how everything's supposed to work for you. And I think that's going to help you to release some of this and be able to talk about more of it and bring more of it to light for yourself. There you go.
Huh. Well, I'm trying to. Which chakra would you say you would lean towards on that one?
Go with that.
That's what I was.
That's
what I was thinking, but it's all over the place here.
Mm-hmm.
That. Oh man. Like she said, I was leaning towards the throat as well. Keep your thoughts and your ideas clear. It seems like she said, trying to let go of something, and beginning to let go. And I use this analogy a lot. You'll probably hear me use it a lot. It's one of my favorite ones I've ever heard when it comes to letting things go. This is pretty much the year of finishing things that don't mean anything to you anymore. If they're not serving you a purpose, let them go. And the biggest analogy of that is picture yourself in a hot air balloon. You can put as much hot air in that balloon as you want, but if you don't get rid of those sandbags, that air balloon that air, it's not going anywhere. You're stuck. And those sandbags are the things that you need to let go of. Those are the things, even if it means communicating, even if it means speaking your truth. So I feel like he's the kind of person that would get upset when others are distracted when he's talking or they're not listening to him.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is maybe sit down, and again, I give journal entry ideas if you guys journal, and I would write an open letter. And this is a way to get your feelings out. Write an open letter to someone in your life, and that could be anyone. And write down what you've always wanted to say, but never found the courage or the right words. This will help push you right into that direction.
I love that. I think that's awesome. Perfect. Hopefully that helps, Keith. Hopefully that helps. I'm starting as we go. Okay. So I'm going to take Keith down. I want to put up Stephanie. Stephanie, I literally started hearing like a barrage of songs in my head going on, and they're old like musical type songs. So it was like things like See Every Mountain, Every Shore, just all these songs about it being, love being almost there, and shit, not again. You know what I mean? So it's almost there, almost exactly what you want. And then it feels like it just keeps falling short for you, or how you feel it's falling short for you. Okay. Because thank you. I keep feeling like you're digging down deep within yourself to make sure you bring through exactly what you want. And I want to tell you, it feels like you're digging deep to manifest this. Like you want to make sure that, I don't even want to say you want to make sure you get it right this time, because I don't think this is laying on you. But I think for some reason it's digging in deep to say, I want to make sure I'm manifesting the perfect person for me and bringing that to fruition. Okay. I like the fact in my head that what I'm hearing in my head is like, it's still happiness. It's still hopefulness. And I do feel like even if you'd be in a relationship right now, it's still happiness and hopefulness for a really good love life, a really solid love life. Whether you're in one or not, I feel like it's the same thing. But I do feel like it's bringing this all forward for you. I do feel like you have some healing to do in here, though. Just some healing overall in the heart chakra. I know that sounds kind of generic, because I think we all could probably use some healing in that heart chakra area. But I do feel like healing that, speaking about that, really put on display exactly what you want. It's okay to be picky as hell in this, and then allowing that to come to you. Okay. I also don't know where you're at, but I'm almost wondering, what, if you're in America, I'm seeing more of a foreign travel type gentleman coming towards you. Somebody that you're like, wow, never expected to meet you here, that type of a thing. But I'm seeing somebody of foreign travel come to you. So, okay, Mike.
Could be a nice hot Italian guy.
It could be. I'll tell you what.
Not me. I live in the U.S. Again, same with you. The heart, trying to open up to yourself. when your heart's out of balance, that's when it is in balance, I'm sorry, that's when you feel the most unconditional love, whether it's for somebody else, yourself. A lot of times it is blocked by grief, but that is the seat of where our love comes from, whether it's somebody else, again, or yourself. I think, again, I got to agree with DeEtte on what she said, is trying to manifest. I actually said this earlier today. A lot of issues with people and our mentalities and our minds is we focus too much on manifesting the things that we want, like cars, clothes, money, jobs, that we forget to manifest who we are. When you manifest who you are, that's when the jobs that you want come. That's when the money that you want comes, and the items that you want come. So one of the things that I would maybe write down in a journal, if you have one, Stephanie, is do you self-isolate yourself from others? Are you overly dependent on others to feel happiness? And how can you find a healthy balance between those two? And that was it.
I like that. I like that very much. So hopefully that helps you, Miss Stephanie, or makes sense in some way.
I hope everything I say makes sense.
Sometimes we're just going for what makes sense at this point, you know? Okay, let's go to Miss Karen. Okay. Okay, Karen, I'm not hooking into mediumship today. Okay, but I want to tell you, only because mediumship, you know what? I feel totally awesome, Stephanie. Only because, Karen, I mediumship, I don't like to do them as general. I don't, because I think they're much more personal. I think they're very much more, need to be a one-on-one reading, or even a show where I bring people in one-on-one, because I essentially, spirit might be putting you on blast, and you don't want all those things maybe to be out and about. Okay. But I do want to tell you, when we pass away, when that soul goes back to the other side, when it goes back to God, the creator, all of that, it does a life review per se. It does it. It has an understanding. It gets a clearer picture, because now it sees the whole picture. It sees its wrongdoings, or the mistakes that are made. And I'll tell you what, there's not a reading that I have not done that if something has happened within somebody's life between two souls, that soul has always come back to say, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Well, it's amazing. It's amazing when it happens, the healing that happens, because every spirit does it in their own way, so I want to let you know that one, dear.
For her, sorry, I was flapping my hands because there was a stink bug in here, and it creeped me out. It's around the time we get those in Ohio.
I didn't think you were being that to the whole I'm sorry thing.
No, there was a bug, and I was just like, don't do that right. From a coaching standpoint, Karen, I would say focus on that root. That looks like you're going to need to find a lot of grounding. And I will say, I want to say is she newer here? I don't know if I've seen her.
I've seen her name around it. Yes. Oh my God. Stephanie travels to Italy every year.
Italy just came off the top of my head. It was the first thing I said, because I'm Italian. But learn to bring that inner child back out. I resonate a lot with you on that level, because my mom too was very physically, verbally, mentally abusive towards me. Mm-hmm. And when I turned 18, I swore I would never talk to my mom ever again. And here I am, 37. My mom is my best friend. I don't know what I would do without her. A lot of times, yes, we ask ourselves all the time, are they sorry? Are they sorry? Even when they're passed over, we that's all we think about. Whether they're honestly sorry or not, in your mind, you need to tell yourself that they are. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things. Your mind believes what you tell it. So if you believe that your mom's not sorry, then you're going to keep believing that. So that's bring that inner child out, and I when you bring that inner child out and you get a little bit more comfortable, maybe even do what I said earlier. Write a letter to everything you wanted to say to your mom. Mm-hmm. Say it out loud, say it in a prayer, whatever you do. And just really, you got to release that energy from you, whether or not you're going to know if she is sorry or not.
Right. I think that's huge.
That didn't come out the way I wanted, but
No, but it makes sense. It makes
the
sense.
idea's
It makes sense to her. You know what I mean? Okay, my arm is numb in certain spots and hurts in others, and it's just not right. It's not right. And Karen says she understands, so that's awesome. I'm being a wimp here, guys. And Mike can flail at bugs. I can be a wimp.
I do like Lindsay's comments. She did say she loved the letter idea, and she's going to do that on her own life.
I love that.
It's a very good one.
I love that. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, and I need to get my nails done, just so you know, Mike. Nobody's brought mention to it this week. I'm going to get one hand done.
I was going to say, is it half off?
Well, no, we're paying for 2 hands, but I'm only going to get one, which is going to be awesome. And that's what I was looking at because my nail lady in here messaged.
Half off for one hand?
There you go. Half off. I'm getting half price deal, apparently. I don't know. I know we'll figure out. She'll probably donate a hand to me. Thank goodness, because she's going to feel so bad for me. She's going to be like, no, girl, only you. So, so hopefully, I don't know. We'll see if it all happens. Okay, Miss Lori, I'd love a reading if you have time. Nope, out of time. Sorry, Lori. Get them done on both sides. Oh, Tim. You know what? If I could, I would, but I don't think the doctors want this hand touched yet. So, oh my God. Okay, so Miss Lori, and I know Lori's telling me to shut up right now. I know it in her head.
She's thinking, my comment's been up there for 3 minutes. Let's go.
Come on already, you know. Lori, right off the bat, oh my gosh. You know what, darling? Lori's a friend of mine, and I know her. But I want to tell her straight up, you know what? I never just kind of both sides on one hand. There you go, Tim. That would be inventive. I could be a little shark teeth. The Keurig kids would never let go of it. Oh my God. I'd have to get him with like hingings so they look like a little mouse. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole. Lori, what are you trying to have, diversions from? Because every time I try to say Lori, I divert to someplace else. Have you noticed that, Mike? Every time I start her, I divert something.
And then there's me, like, I'm thinking, come on, DeEtte, come on.
Like squirrels going around, which also tells me that has to do with Lori. She's doing squirrels around her, like trying to, I know I need to do this, but I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. And everything's distracting all over the place, you know? And I do feel as if right now you're bridging a point, Lori, in your life where, because I can feel it in your guts, it's right here. And you're going, I just got to do this. If I do this, I know I'm over the big hump and my life is going to forever change. But I do believe with that, when you finally come over, the change, the thing isn't doing it, it's actually the belief in yourself. So once you finally get through this, you're going to go, you know what? I've got belief in me. I just also heard you're also going to say Ed DeEtte was right. So I'm going to take that now because I heard it. You know what I mean? But I do. It's whatever's coming up, darling. It's this big hump for you. But I want to tell you, you already know it. You're already going to bridge it. You're already going to do it. Stop squirreling yourself. Stop all the negative self-talk. Go ahead and get this done because it's going to forever change you. There you go.
I have to completely agree because as you're doing that, even when you put her up, I felt the heart chakra. I felt that that compassion, that joy, that like even the being squirrely, like I felt happy, I felt fun. So whatever it is that this hump she needs to get over is there. Right now you're just to that playful. It's there, it's gonna be there. So right now you're just having fun until it happens.
It's crazy.
So this could even be there'd be tons of questions I can ask you for this one, but I really feel like this is leaning towards the same thing I've been leaning towards. So if you journal, one of the questions I would ask and write is, what does it mean to be deeply connected to all beings in this universe? In what ways do I feel connected to all? And in what ways do I feel different? And how can I nurture that feeling of connection?
Love that.
And that was it.
I love that. That's pretty cool. I think that's a good one in a nutshell, and I'm going to leave her with that. Need to hide that comment. There we go. There we go. Let's go with Miss Tina. I'm going back and forth. Boop, boop. Okay. I love it. Tina asked the question that I just put up, and then she's got the new comment going, any good changes coming in my life? So you don't want to hear the negative ones, huh, Tina? Don't blame me. I don't like to give the negative ones, okay? Tina, with you, oh gosh, I hope you're a swear. I mean, I don't hope you're a swear, but I'm hearing a whole lot of shit, shit, going back. She's like, all is fine. I'm hearing a lot of this going to my head, going back and forth, but I feel like what's going on is while I'm saying this in my head, I feel like I've taken my whole closet, like I'm looking for something, and I've taken my whole closet and thrown it in the middle of my bed, and I'm throwing things all over the place, going shit, fuck, shit, trying to find this. You know what I mean? Find what I feel like I've lost. And really, you haven't lost anything. It's all right there. It's all right there in front of you. It hasn't gone anywhere. And I want to tell you that is the first thing that you're looking. I feel like you're looking for something that you feel is lost, or you feel is no longer there, or you feel you've forgotten. And I want to tell you, it's all right there. It's all there right in front of you. How you're going about getting to where you want to be is where the change is. Because I feel like you have a dynamic changing within you. And it's all up in your throat chakra. And it's not you being able to talk and release, because that is open. It's how you speak, how you say things. And I do feel like this is a whole learning curve for you. So I'm not saying like this is, you're a kid being 12 going into 18 or anything like that, or even, young to old. This is more like you're just more aware of your surroundings. You're aware of everything. You're going through this learning curve, this learning phase. And it's almost like you're starting to see people around you on a different light. And with that being said, it's teaching you, because you're going, oh, okay, I can accept that. Wow, maybe I'll enter that into my life. Maybe I won't, But I do feel as you're doing this, this is where your positive changes come from. This isn't a matter of getting more. This is recognizing what you already have and then changing that really into positive, really changing that into positive. And I don't think you're necessarily a DIYer, but I just seen you go like, I need this, but I can go there and I can grab 5 things in my house and make this and make it better, because you have a uniqueness about you anyway, So it's like if I send you for a handbag, you're not just going to bring back some Walmart handbag. You're going to go to Michael Kors and find the coolest handbag and bring it back to me, because it's going to have style. It's going to have some personality. So hopefully that helps, Miss Tina.
I loved everything about that, and I'm sitting here looking at these pages, and throat and crown are the 2 that I was aiming for. You nailed it with the throat. What she's feeling, what she's saying, she's speaking her voice, so it's there,
right?
But in the back of her, maybe in her personal life, there's people that don't believe her. They're putting her down, shunning her. Because of her personal beliefs. And I feel like it's drawing her away. It's a little bit of a disconnection, hopelessness. And that's where the crown is going to come into play. Mm-hmm. Because that is and the crown becomes blocked majority of the time when something down below is lowered. Mm-hmm. And when you unlock that crown, you align the crown chakra, then whatever lower can realign itself as well.
Right.
So again, it's a lot of hopelessness, rigid thoughts, and it's really weird. Today's theme is really turned spiritual. It's another one of those signs that I told you I've been following. But if you journal, I guess one of the questions I would ask myself is, who is your higher self? Who do you think you are? And where and how does it show up in your life? Because I feel like there's some sort of attitude difference in between who you were as to who you are now, and there's a lot more of finding yourself and getting reconnected.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Hopefully that helps, Miss Tina. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Resnet, can I get a general reading, please? And thank you. Okay. Oh, I love it. Tina wrote a whole lot there, but basically, yes, which is awesome. With Resnick, gosh, my head is, I'll tell you what, my head spins, but it feels like a heavy spinning with you, not the opposite. And I'm getting lost in my thoughts, lost in everything around me. I'm not sure if you've got a lot of loss or sadness or what is going on, but I just feel this heaviness in my mind. Okay, just this heaviness kind of going down. My mouth is drying up, and I feel like I'm hearing clear knowing who you are, clear on who you are. But I do feel like there's some communicate, like you're in this process of finding yourself. You're in this process of coming through the shadows. You know, I'm hearing the shadows of the night, but the shadows, like coming through this and being able to release a whole lot. And I feel like you're ready just to pick this up and throw it over here like it's too heavy. I don't want to hold it anymore and kind of go on. But again, I feel like this is shadow work, okay? A lot of that aspect. So it's going in, doing that core work, going in, seeing who you are as a person and all of that, okay? And I love it because I just heard, I knew I was cool. Like I knew I was okay. You know what I mean? Like you, which tells me you have this, you know you can make it through whatever it is that's this heaviness that's bound you. I feel like you can make through this and stop worrying so much because you're giving me a headache. You know what I mean? So I just feel this pain between here, right here. And it feels like giving you a headache, too much thinking, too much thought. Okay. And I'm also hearing, don't worry, you're going to be prosperous. You're going to be prosperous. You got this.
It's going to be another crown one,
Another-
I believe. You know, you use mantras. Eventually, you guys will find out why I don't use them, but they do work for other people.
Yeah.
I am mantras, like I am me, I am powerful, I am happy. Declare your highest intentions. Again, begin to release what doesn't serve you. Learn to sit still, listen to your thoughts, and see what you really think. So one of the things I would ask myself is, how can I remain peaceful, focused, and trusting when my outer world feels chaotic and or when I am surrounded by the negativity of others?
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. Hopefully we helped there, Resnick. I'm not sure we did or not, but hopefully we did. So
I mean, I feel like we are. I mean,
I'm hoping.
I feel like everybody here, at least today, is on that spiritual awakening journey.
We are. It does. It kind of seems like that, doesn't it? It's like
It does.
one after another after another. We've got time for one more. Are you running the next show or is somebody else running the next show?
Tatis.
Okay, so we got time for one more. And then
Maybe where am I going?
maybe where am I going? Courtney, where are you going?
Church.
Climbing the hill. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You got to go with it. You got to go with it. Oh, good. Resnick says totally makes sense. Awesome. Glad we were able to help there. Thank you, Courtney. I want to tell you, you know what, Courtney, I'm going to put you in the same sauce bowl as everybody else right now because of this path that you're on. I like the fact that I feel like you've done a lot of your shadow work. You feel like you've done a lot of that healing. You've come through a lot of the crap. I also feel like right now I heard reaching at straws, but I think it's more learning as much as you can from so many different things, like reaching. I want to learn. Because I feel like with this, you're trying to create your own kind of spiritual modality or your own modalities for your own way of life. Like, I don't want to hit a time clock anymore. I don't want anything to do with any of that crap. I want to create my own way of being. But I also feel with you, it's like, there's more out there, but it's like, I need to read between the lines. I need to look here. I need to look there. I need to combine things. I need to find out who I am. And I feel like, that being said, you're looking for a lot of different spiritual gurus or spiritual people. And they're all giving you these pieces. And I love the fact that you're doing that, because it feels like everybody's giving you a little piece to your puzzle. And as you do, and I'm going to hear more shadow work, because it's like you're in the learning phase right now, but you're going to go right into it again. But when you come back out, all of those pieces are going to help, and you're going to be able to pull it back together. With that saying, I just got nailed in the sacral area. And I'll tell you what, it just felt like, oh my God, like a kick to the gut. And in order for you to move forward, you're going to do it. So there you go.
Yeah, it's weird. I felt a little different there too, because when you first started, I was feeling a lot in the heart, and I was feeling a lot of like anxiety, and then you said sacral, and I'm like, that is the one that deals with anxiety. Everything that DeEtte's saying about shadow work, Resnick, Courtney, I know Courtney, she said you're doing it already. That's amazing. It's another one of those things. If anybody needs help with, you can reach out to me. I am a shadow work practitioner. I am studying it. It's been on the back burner for a little while, but I'm going to start getting back into it again. But back to Courtney. Again, the sacral, she's absolutely correct, because that's your anxiety. You got to start feeling you. Like I feel creative. I feel beautiful. I feel not guilty, I guess. I don't know. But it's that creativity chakra, again, that needs to be unblocked. And Courtney, again, a lot of these questions that I ask when you are doing shadow work, these will actually help that same process. So what I would do is, it seems like you're blocked by some sort of idea, a roadblock. You're kind of maybe losing creativity. So what I would do is I would write about a book or a movie idea that you have just had floating around in your head. Just think about it. What's it about? Who are the characters? What is the central theme? And write as many details as you can and have fun. Bring that imagination out. That is a little paragraph, whatever you want. That is a way to help bring that creativity out that maybe be blocking you from what it is you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
And her comment.
I love it.
We're good.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Sorry we weren't able to get to everybody. You know what I mean? But hopefully everybody got a little bit of something out of what we had to say. And you can see us next week here with me and Mike here on Unfiltered with DeEtte and Mike. Have a great weekend, guys.
See you guys next week. I'll push it. Okay, bye.
Push it.